greatest. Can't beat us, join us, keep heaters, orders. With red lasers, not fair warning, short shots won't raise ya. We hold corners, play blocks like gators. Bundles on and serve trays like waiters. It's the life we choose, the hustle. Can't stop it, can't knock it. Have the profit get flown out Vegas. Me and my niggas try to break tables. Stack chips like the net four. While you crooks try and whip, try and stretch more. Charge less for, that ain't the program. Get your lessons from the snowman. Like Pillsbury, I get the dough, man. I offer here for a slice of bread. I keep a word and I'm true to my beats. Give me a bird and my crew will eat. I'm over the stove like Cuban links. Breaking down cash money like baby food. You niggas soft like baby food. Round the world, niggas pay me dues. Why you niggas sing the same old song like Safe do? Oh man, nigga, baby fool. I send shots from the baby suit. Whole gang like baby fool. Propane flow, flaming dudes. No names, don't claim the shoot.
Once again, it's on.
Once again, it's on, nigga. Super hard like corn, nigga. I check you out.
Yo. What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy, onetreroc. This is another edition of Live from the Cave, baby. I'm gonna let this brew a little bit, man. I'm gonna let it brew a little bit. Been a nice little weekend. I mean, training camp start. Open practice tomorrow. I'm gonna be there, man. Y'all already know I'm gonna get my footage thing in. But yeah, we're gonna talk about it. What's up, Duty Fighter? Man, you ain't doing nothing, bro. Join the live. If you ain't doing nothing, join the live, bro. Yeah, but man, I've been hearing a lot of things out of training camp, man. A lot of good things, a lot of bad things. Heard the offense had a bad day today, a bad day. You know how that go. It happens sometimes. It's training camp, man. Dillard's still out there getting beat like a drum, like his drum line. I mean, we gonna talk about it though. I'm gonna let some of these folks get up in here, man. But yeah, you heard Mac once again the song. It's your boy onetreroc. We live from the cave. I'm here getting groovy. Y'all know how I do on my Fridays, Saturdays, even Sundays. Y'all know how I get. Finishing off this good old 1800. And we about to get it in. You dig? I want to get a little bit more in depth about the offense struggling, man. It wasn't. It was a collective effort. Like the O-line was getting beat. Miles Sanders had a fumble, couple drop passes. A lot of dudes a little banged up right now. I mean, Hightower. We already know about Devontae Smith gonna miss a couple weeks, more than likely. Man. I feel Rager really the only one out there from the wide receiver corps that's gonna be starting. So I mean, that's something you expect, but my question is it the offense struggling or the defense just look that good right now? Because it could be a combination of both. The offense could be struggling, but the defense just could be dogs. You never know. Jonathan Gannon dialing it up out there. They executing it to perfection. Who knows? It could be anything. But I'm gonna see with my own eyes tomorrow at the live camp, man. And I'm gonna have a way better report because a lot of these beat writers and stuff like that, they like causing chaos. Like Jalen Hurts having 3 straight practices when the offense didn't put the ball on the turf at all. But as soon as he has a bad practice, now all the beat writers, we're not so sure about Jalen Hurts and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, come on, like, if y'all gonna talk about the bad, talk about the good too. Dude, then it went perfect in training camp the other day. I don't see y'all jumping all over that, but y'all want to find any reason to put the dude down. I don't feel like that's cool at all. I don't feel like it's cool at all, man. But that's their job, though. I blame Philly fans more for feeding into it. I mean, everybody had bad situations in training camp. Like, big play was good, my bro. What's good? I mean, he ain't doing nothing during the live, bro. We out here tonight. But yeah, a lot of teams have bad training camps. Like a lot of teams. They saying Joe Burrow out there looking like he don't even want to get touched right now because he coming off that injury. It's like, bro, you gonna play all year timid like that? But they ain't reporting like stuff like that out of Cincinnati because Cincinnati is not Philadelphia. Nobody cares about Cincinnati. So I mean, I say that to say this: you do a bad training camp. Y'all running the same plays every day. The defense is gonna have a beat on what y'all doing. The defense is gonna win training camp more often than not because y'all been running the same plays against them for weeks. But if y'all gonna talk bad about Jalen Hurts, talk about the good stuff he do. You don't never hear y'all saying nothing like that. Whenever, oh, Jalen Hurts, 3, 4 touchdowns in the training camp. They just poo-poo it, throw it to the side. It's training camp. We got a preseason game coming up Thursday. Let's see how he do then, if he even plays. 9 times out of 10 he's going to play, but if he even gets a nice amount of time to show what he can do in there, let's see. Let's just see. I mean, let's see what September hit. Y'all going up, y'all jumping on everything these beat writers say. I know they there at practice, but their main objective is to get Philadelphia Eagles fan riled up, and y'all fall into it all the time. All the time. Y'all fall into the bull crap. Oh, Jalen Hurts had a horrible practice. It's not just Jalen Hurts, it was the whole offense from what I'm hearing. Offensive line can't block the defensive line. Jalen Hurts throwing balls into the dirt because he running for his life. It's like, it happens. Like, if you go against the same, that's like us going against the Cowboys every day in practice. They're going to understand what you're doing after a while. These are professional defensive coordinators and professional defensive players. They gonna know when that drag route coming. They gonna know when y'all running it. It's like y'all doing this every day. They could basically cheat the plays. They can cheat the plays. Now let's see how we go up. Because I know after a while you get tired of beating up on your teammates. You want to go against other opponents. Let's see how it go when the other opponents get up there. I hope this defense top 5. I would love it. But they got the advantage right now. They have the upper hand. There's only so many plays you can run in practice that is not going to get noticed. That is not going to get noticed. That's just like I said, that's just like playing a team every day. You're going to notice when certain lineups, formations, and what they do out of these formations. What they going to run out of this set. If a high tower on the field, he's going deep. We know you're going deep. Play him over the top. You're going to know stuff like that. Stuff like that, man. It get too easy at the wall. Let's see how this defense look against another opponent. Let's see how this defense look against the Steelers. I want to get into a little Zach McPherson because I heard from Trent Kent Zach McPherson is opening eyes, man. Dude, but they saying it's super hard to complete a pass against him because he's so competitive. Like, he's always around the football. He fights on every play. It's like, bro, he's a rookie, but y'all gotta understand his father was a professional football player. So he has that grooming. He has that kind of training. That's just like the cornerback from Alabama that went to Denver. That's just like him. His pop was an NFL player, so he was around NFL players his whole life. He was around NFL players his whole life. So it's like he's gonna be trained well. He's gonna have good technique. He's gonna get beat sometimes. It happens. No corner, I don't care who it is. It could be Jalen Ramsey, anybody. They're going to get beat. These wide receivers in the NFL are too good for you to just contain them on every play. All I ask is you just be competitive. You just be competitive. Put a fight up. That's all I ask. I mean, and Zach McPherson, they're saying he's pushing Devontae Maddox for that number 3 corner spot. And I mean, Devontae Maddox got to bring his big boy pants. You got to bring your big boy pants, bro. You really want that spot because you only can take so much of dudes just doing the same thing over and over and over. It's like, all right, let's throw this dude in here and see what he do at the nickel spot. And if he over there flaming, then you probably lost your spot, dog. That's on you. You ain't show enough. I feel like Devontae Maddox is better suited as a safety to me. Because that rookie year he played safety, he did a hell of a good job his rookie year with learning 3 different positions. So I would stick Devontae Maddox at the safety position. He's rangy. He can play zone defense. It's just when he's 1-on-1 with a receiver, that's when Devontae Maddox be getting killed. Because mind you, he's not even over 6 foot. He's going up against 6'3", 6'4" wide receivers. That's a bad matchup every time. I don't know why Jim Swisher ever put Devontae Maddox out there on the island. He doesn't have the size nor speed to play that position. He's quick as hell. He got the quickness. He can turn his hips and run. It's just he don't have the long speed. He doesn't have the jumping ability to compete with them wide receivers. Yeah, it is what it is. Like, I mean, Devontae Maddox, you don't step up, you're gonna lose your spot, bro. It is what it is. I mean, yeah, man. I don't know, bro. I'm just waiting for some people to get up in here, man. You already know it's your boy onetreroc. We live from the cave. I'm in here getting groovy. 1800 me. See, my lives be a little different, bro. I show y'all my real self. I don't be all militant and stuff like that, man. I get my little drink on and talk my trash. You dig? But yeah, I want to get into a little bit of this Miles Sanders thing too. A little bit of this Miles Sanders thing. Miles Sanders has been struggling in practice with ball security. Bro, you about to be the number one option at running back for us, bro. You can't be fumbling the football. You can't be fumbling the football. Like, it don't even make sense, bro. It's like you've been playing running back for so long. How was you not focused on ball security? I mean, high and tight. Even part one, they teach you that in part one, high and tight. You get me? Bro, you can't hold on to the football. You can't be on the field. The ball security killed us last year from you. I'm a big Miles Sanders fan. I'm a big Miles Sanders fan. Let me go ahead and throw this layout up in the comments real quick so I could get some people in here. All right, y'all. I just posted it in the comments, man. Y'all want to get up in here and get to some of this talking, then let's get it, man. Other than that, I'm rocking by myself tonight. But yeah, Miles Sanders, you can't be fumbling the football, bro. That's the quickest way to get on the bench, fumbling the football. I don't care how good you is or how good you think you is. Just know. And I heard Kerryon Johnson been out there doing his thing. Him, Jason Huntley, out there doing their thing, bro. It's not that hard, Miles. You making it easier for the Eagles to not want to extend you, bro. They're looking for any reason to not pay you in the NFL, especially running backs. They don't value running backs. The NFL don't value running backs no more. So you can't be going out like that, bro. I'm like I said, I'm a big fan of yours, man. I'm a big fan of yours, and you getting one of the greatest opportunities right now because you really the clear cut number one, and you out there effing around in practice, fumbling footballs, dropping passes. Like, come on, bro. Miles, you my dog, bro, but it's like NFL stands for not for long. And Howie Roseman and them looking for a reason not to pay you. They don't pay running backs. When the last time a running back got paid? I think it was Shady. I think Shady got a nice contract. But yeah, even if, even if even if I mean you making it hard. You making it hard for them to not put a Kerryon Johnson in, not see what a Jason Huntley could do. I mean, not see what a Jordan Howard could do. You making it hard for him, bro. You making it hard for him. But yeah, man, I'm gonna let this brew a little bit longer. Get some see if we can get some guys up in here, man. The link in the comments. Link in the comments. Let's see, let's get it. Hold on, I'm pulling up this schedule real quick. I want to see if I can get some guys up in here so we could I mean we could go through this schedule game by game and we gonna ink out we gonna ink out like the Eagles schedule, man. Like wait for some guys to get up in here. What? All right. All right. Let's get it. I want to see. I'm going since once again I'm going to the open practice tomorrow, and it's gonna be some things I'm looking for. Like I'm actually looking for. Uh, First of all, I want to see the offensive line versus the defensive line. You know, our defensive line always been our strength. It's been our strength for years. So and now that we got Lane back, Brandon Brooks back, Kelsey back. I didn't say Marlowe's still out with an injury. He's still week to week. But now that we got our core offensive line back. I want to see how these dudes go up against a Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargreaves, Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett. I want to see them battles. Jordy, what's good, brother?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing today?
Not bad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna hop right into it then. Um, the Eagles have an open practice tomorrow. I don't know if you're attending or not, but I am. So I wanna. I was just gonna go through some things I was looking for. I'm gonna be looking for. And first, I want to start off with the offensive line versus the defensive line. Which unit do you feel like stronger, in your opinion?
Honestly, I'm going to have to say offensive line, mostly because it comes down to depth, and we've got more experience depth behind those guys on the O line than you do on the D line.
Right, right, right. I agree with you. I agree with you. But I don't know. I've been hearing in practice that the defensive line been spanking on that offensive line. So like a Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat been killing Andre Dillard. Even with Mike Lotta in there, I feel like Josh Sweat probably gonna have a breakout year this year. But like I said, I agree with you. I agree with you. You can't trump experience. So with a Jason Kelsey up there, with a Brandon Graham, a Lane Johnson up there. The only one that's not really going to have a ton of experience is Jordan Mailata. Because 9 times out of 10, he's going to be that offensive tackle. So, I mean, I agree with you, bro. My next question is cornerback battle. Who gonna be your three corners, like corner one, two, nickel corner?
Honestly, I'm going Slay at CB1, Nelson to CB2, and then Really, I think it comes down to McPherson and Scott battling for the 3 because both have had a very good camp. Scott's gotten a lot of turnovers. He's done very well, and McPherson, as of late, has also been balling out. So I think it'll be a toss-up between those two.
Damn, so you just you exing Devontae Maddox out of there?
Yeah, he's just, even with the new scheme, I don't know if he can perform. He's got to show me he can perform before I can put him at 3.
I feel like they just based off experience. I feel like they're gonna give Avonte Maddox that slot. That's the kind of stuff the Eagles do, man. Even though he ain't earned it, I feel like he already played. He already like basically locked his spot in prior years. So I feel like it's gonna be hard for a Josiah Scott or a Zach McPherson to take Avonte Maddox's spot. Not even based off his work on the field. It's just that's how they. I don't know why the Eagles like that. That's what they do. How you feel about that?
Yeah, and that's one thing I've been kind of been iffy on because we like to do it based on experience, and that's got its pros and its cons, like the Alshon Jeffrey situation. But hopefully this doesn't turn into another one of those. It shouldn't.
I don't feel like it should even, man. But yeah, I also was talking about the Miles Sanders thing, man. I heard he been struggling in practice, dropping a lot of footballs, fumbling. I mean, if Miles don't get his act together, I heard Kerryon Johnson been out there balling. Jason Huntley been out there balling, man. So how you feel about the Miles Sanders situation?
It does worry me a little bit, and it does because we haven't really seen a Miles Sanders that's turned the ball over a lot or made a lot of mistakes. So if he's coming into the season making mistakes and it continues, I think that's going to be a big problem because you don't want your number one back in the committee to just fall apart because then it could crumble the whole system from there.
Or somebody come up and take some time away from him. That's it's all up to Miles Sanders how he played this, man. He shouldn't be in the NFL having ball security issues, man. You've been playing football for too long. You should have been got all that out your system. Even his rookie year. His rookie year, he wasn't fumbling the football, dropping passes. I don't know what's going on with Miles Sanders. Maybe it's something personal, but he need to get it together for sure. Yeah, man. I mean, they said today the Eagles had a lot of offensive struggles today, man. Does that worry? What is your concern level with the Philadelphia Eagles offense? Because I look at it like after a while, the defense is gonna have the upper hand because they didn't see them in every play y'all gonna run. They see every formation y'all gonna line up in. What y'all run out the formation, what y'all personnel is, what y'all run when these personnel on the field. So I feel like the defense always has the upper hand in training camp. How you feel about that?
Yeah, and it worries me to an extent, but it doesn't because you've got such young guys at receiver. Greg Ward's your oldest at 25, and you've got Hurts who's coming into his first full season, probably his first full season as a starter, and and you're right. The defense, it's a lot easier to have or for your defense to ball out coming out of something like a camp than your offense. Especially since with this Jonathan Gannon defense, he preaches versatility. And we've seen, or from what we've heard, he's run 3-4, he's run 4-3, he's run subsets of those, and you've got the guys to do it. So honestly, it worries me to an extent, but that's only because of the age these guys on the offense are at. And I think it's something you can kind of work out of their system.
Right. And I agree with you on that point too. It's like, I mean, the offense, we definitely have a lot of young players on the wide receiver, but it's like a lot of those dudes, like a Hightower, Rigger, they had a lot of meaningful snaps last year. They had a lot. What's good, Bird Gang? How you feel tonight, bro? Hold on one second, Shorty.
What's up?
Yo, bro, what's good?
You remember me? I came on your show the other day.
Yeah, I remember you, bro.
How you doing?
I'm telling man, I got my guy Jordy in here. We just talking some Eagles training camp. I'm actually going to the open practice tomorrow. So I'm just looking for some I'm trying to work out some stuff that I'm actually gonna be looking for when I go. I mean, like the energy of a Nick Sirianni. That's all I've been hearing since training camp started. Nick Sirianni, the energy, man. So I just want to see it for myself. How you feel about that, Jordy? Like, how you feel like how the players are responding to a first year head coach?
It's a good thing, and we've seen a lot of guys kind of in support of Sirianni, and the feeling this year coming into camp and throughout camp with shenanigans like Boston Scott and him acting as security for like Greg Ward, stuff like that. It's something we really haven't seen for years. We didn't really see it
Yeah,
under Doug Peterson after a while, and with the atmosphere and how Sirianni's coaching and how the players are coming out and speaking about him and everything, I think the future's definitely bright.
I do too. I feel the same way. Positive, you there, bro? Hold on. I feel the same way, bro. Like for a coach to step on the field for his first time as a head coach, and you had veteran players so riled up. Like every time we hear an interview or or somebody talking about Nick Sirianni, they always talk about his energy, his competitiveness, his how competitive the practices be. It's feel like he's just growing on these players, and I love it. Like it's like because like dudes love Doug Peterson, but I feel like Doug Peterson was kind of a pushover. It's like dudes felt like they could do anything they want. With this Nick Sirianni thing, he's actually getting up in players' face. Like him chewing Rager out the other day, and then Rager coming back and having a great practice. Like a great practice. And I mean sometimes you gotta figure out what kind of dudes you can do that with. But I don't feel like he's treating anybody any different. And I like that in a coach. How you feel about that?
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing because with Doug, we really saw just he didn't hold players accountable, and there was many other problems. But that was the one main thing that I heard a lot of Eagles fans say for the longest time in his tenure was there's no accountability. Nick Sirianni in one camp in what half a camp has already yelled at some guys. He's gotten in their faces. He's spoke his mind. He's been kind of been blunt, and that's a good thing because it's gonna help those guys work towards a better themselves. And they're from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing and what I'm kind of putting together, I'm thinking these guys are really following Nick Sirianni, which is a really good thing at this point.
Right. All right, what's your thoughts on Jonathan Gannon? How the defense actually responding to him? How even it's the same with Jonathan Gannon. Every time they get an interview or something like that, they're just praising the dude, and I love it, man. You gotta love the coach you play for. I mean, if not, you're not gonna play hard for him. So how you feel about Jonathan Gannon?
Yeah, I think he's a great defensive mind. He's like I said earlier, he preaches versatility. I know he's going to come in with a great mindset, just like Sirianni and the rest of the coaches. And from what I'm hearing from players, he's another great coach, and it's a good thing to have players that want to play for these coaches because that's going to push them even further along. Because at the end of the day, if you like what you do and take pride in what you do, you're going to push yourself to your furthest extent.
Exactly, exactly. You hit it on the nose, bro. It's like some people can play for a coach that they don't really care for, but if you like the coach and they're not cutting you no slack or nothing like that, they actually they're on you like they're on your game for you to get better and stuff like that. You can respect a coach like that even more, even if you don't really necessarily care for him as like I mean, but you gotta respect what he's doing. So I agree. I agree with you, bro. How you feel about the Jared Mailata Andre Dillard battle? Because I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's another thing. The response to the piggyback off what you just said, like with the Avonte Maddox thing. I feel like they're doing the same thing with Dillard just because of the high draft pick he was. Malata should easily win that spot. I mean, even out of camp, you hearing Andre Dillard doesn't even look like a starting offensive left tackle, but they're still trying to give him every opportunity in the world to win that job, knowing Jordan Mailata is the better offensive tackle. So how you feel about that, bro?
A lot of what I'm hearing about Dillard is I'm kind of putting together. I don't know if he's even in the right mindset to be in this battle, and we all know what Dillard did last year, a former 7th-round pick. He's basically Stoutland's, like, that's probably one of his best creations as a coach, one of his best pupils. And honestly, Dillard's really hasn't shown us anything, so I don't even know why he's in this battle. And I don't think he should be in the battle. He's definitely going to be in the battle way further than he should be because it's Howie, and Howie plus reputation equals a mess of things, and he doesn't care what happens as long as he can try to salvage things. Again, going back to the Alshon Jeffrey situation, that it shares some parallels to that too.
Exactly, bro. I feel the same way you feel. I don't feel like, I mean, if he's really looking that bad, I don't feel like it should be even a competition at this point. Dillard should be the clear-cut starter. Andre Dillard probably could be a swingman, but the way they're saying he's getting beat by Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett, dudes like that, he probably shouldn't even be on this team right now. And that's the crazy part. Like, Dillard was a first-round draft pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was our first-round draft pick. So if you get, and I feel like maybe you're right, it's probably in his head, bro, because mind you, he was supposed to come into the season as the starter last year. He got injured in training camp. Dillard stepped up, locked that spot down for the rest of the season. Now it's like maybe he feel like he needs to catch up. But if you out there getting beat that bad by our defensive tackles, and you can anticipate the moves there. I mean, our defensive ends, and you can anticipate the moves they're going to make. They do the same thing on you. Josh Sweat going to bull rush you. Derek Barnett going to smack your hands down, probably do a spin move. It's like, bro, if you struggling with going up against them, then when we get to like other competition, you're really not going to be able to stop a pro defensive end. So, I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like Howie and I'm still gonna give him every opportunity to win this job, knowing he shouldn't even be starting. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think this year with Howie being on a contract year and him having to earn his extension, this year's been a lot better than normal.
Yeah.
But I still don't think it's going to deter him trying to give Dillard the most chances he can because, like I said, that's his first round pick, and he's going to try to get as much value or as much production out of him as possible because it's Howie.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. I don't feel like me personally. I feel like the best 11 guys should be on the field at all times. I don't care about draft status, where he came from, nothing like that. If it's a dude behind you and he's better than you, he should be in front of you. I don't care who it is. It could be Darius Slay. If there's a corner on this roster better than Darius Slay can sit himself on the bench because you ain't work hard enough. I feel like any team that values winning, they should, I mean, go by those kind of rules. But a lot of teams don't value winning. I mean, how you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. The team should try to put their best guys forward, and there's some cases where they just don't do that, and it sucks because there's been so many guys over the years that just haven't gotten the opportunity others have, and Dak Primes is a prime example of that. Romo goes down, he gets a chance, didn't look back, and then there's other guys that you look at that just fizzled out, that never got a chance, and it's at this point it's kind of just a normal in the league.
Yeah, it's horrible, bro. Like it's so many like even people sitting on practice squads. I'm like, a lot of these dudes are better. Yeah, it's just they go by how much you paying a guy or their draft status is horrible. Like, I mean, A lot of dudes can make their name in this league if they had a chance, but a lot of them don't have a chance. So it's like, I mean, that's why I say organizations don't really value winning, because if you really value winning, you'll put your best 11 on the field at all times, no matter the draft status, no matter how much you paying them, no matter if you know they mom, they dad, you got a personal relationship with them. Like even in basketball, like a Ben Simmons, it's like it's dudes. I mean, I don't know. It's just hard with me. But we're moving on now. Who do you feel like should win that defensive end battle between Josh Sweat and Derek Barnett? Because I feel like Josh Sweat is putting the work out on the field, but Derek Barnett is not a slouch either, man. It's just Derek Barnett, he's just a head case sometimes. It's like you don't know which Derek Barnett you're gonna get. You're gonna get the dominant Derek Barnett, you're gonna get the Derek Barnett that's on the verge of being labeled as a dirty player. It's like you don't know what you're gonna get out of Barnett. You know out of Josh Sweat, you just gonna get a guy that just wanna he happy to be on the field. You just want to work and get better. So who do you feel like should win this defensive end battle?
Honestly, that's tough because you've got Barnett going into his 5th-year option, which shouldn't have been picked up because it's $10 million. Well, it did get restructured, but still, he's in a contract year. But
Right.
and it's now or never for him, really. This is his last chance. But I also want to put Sweat out there because he's got a great mindset. He's got a lot of drive. He's got a great work ethic. He's proved already that he's got a lot of potential. He's got a high ceiling. And honestly, if I had to choose between the two, I'm taking Sweat just because I think you can get more out of him at this point than you can Barnett.
All right. So with that being said, you know Josh Sweat is a younger guy. Derek Barnett is even a younger guy. I love Brandon Graham, but who do you feel like out of those 3 defensive ends, do you feel like Brandon Graham should be the starting end?
I think he should, but I think it should be another situation like Cox is in where you shouldn't be playing him above 90% because like Cox played above 90% a couple times in his career and he's taken some minor injuries and he's got some wear and tear to him. Brandon Graham's no different. They shouldn't be playing a super high snap count, but I still think they should be up there.
All right. Give me a going into the season, like if like everybody's healthy, perfect scenario. If everybody on the offensive line healthy, give me your starting offensive line.
All right, so I'd have to start Mailata at left tackle, Samalo at left guard, Kels at center, Brooks at right guard, and Lane at right tackle.
That's a great offensive lineup, bro. That's a great offensive lineup. I'm gonna have to go with the same. Like because we all know about the we just touched on the Dillard thing. We feel like me and you both agree Mailata should be that left tackle. I just say Malu, he's been hampered with an injury for the majority of training camp. I mean, but I don't feel like nobody else gonna step up and like be a clear cut player to take that job from him. So I feel like his job is kind of secure too. We already know about Kelsey, Lane, Brooks. Their job's already secure. I feel like the outlier is probably gonna be that Isaac Seumalo position, that guard position, because if a guy can step up and show that they deserve to be on the field, with with Seumalo missing all this time, I don't know. It's gonna be hard. Like a Herbig or somebody like that, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, and a lot of those backup guys have proved they can at least bring something to the table. And as much as I like Samalo, he's good, he's not great. And that's why he's an outlier. But I don't think now's the time to take his job away just because he's not necessarily on the level everybody else is. He's still a good offensive lineman. And then you hear a lot of why not start Landon Dickerson there. Well, he's a rookie. He's supposed to be put behind Kels to learn for a year and then take his spot. Why put him at guard just to move him to center and then have him kind of switch roles a little bit and learn into that, kind of get the rhythm of it later instead of now?
Right, yeah. That's true. But I mean, the more time you miss, the more guys is gonna get that shine, and then it's gonna be like you're gonna see yourself as a number two. I don't feel like you should lose his spot either. But I mean, if somebody else putting that work in that practice while you're not there, and the offensive coordinator and the coach feel like this dude would be a better fit than you. That's what happens with like camp injuries and stuff like that. That's how like a Victor Cruz got on the field, a Steve Smith got on the field because dudes got injured. They stepped up and they showed up. It happens. It happens more often than not in the NFL. So I mean, hopefully Isaac can keep that spot. But dudes, I mean, it's a what you can do for me now league. If dude out there balling, that's who they gonna want on the field. You know how that go. Unless it's like a quarterback or something like that. But like the main positions, but offensive line, defensive tackle, places like that, it happens more often than not. You get me? How you feel about that?
Yeah, and I agree with you. And if Samalo does miss enough time where somebody can step up and they think he can play better, they can play better in his spot, let them do it. Let's see what they can do. But when it comes to it, I don't think Samalo's injury is bad enough where he's going to miss that much time.
I agree. All right. So since we on the offensive side of the ball, give me your three running backs that you feel like we're gonna take. Because it might be four. You can even give me four, but 9 times out of 10, we're taking three running backs on the active roster into the season. Give me your three running backs.
If I had to pick three, honestly, it'd probably be Sanders, Gainwell, and that's actually kind of tough. And
Yeah,
maybe
tough, right?
a Kerryon Johnson. If it's just three. If it was 4 or 5, that'd be a different story. But just 3, I think I'd have to slot Johnson or Scott.
Yeah, with me, I gotta go Miles. But some real Boston Scott. That's Boston Scott been getting most of the RB2 carries. I mean, so I don't know how that's gonna look, but I feel like they're trying to give Boston Scott every opportunity to win that RB3, RB2, that third down running back job, and maybe like give a Kenny Gainwell some time to grow a little bit. The way it's looking in training camp, I feel like, but Gainwell been catching most of the passes out of the backfield from the running backs too, so that's a hard battle. Like even to Jason Huntley been breaking long runs off in practice and stuff like so that RB position that's gonna be one of the toughest battles in training camp because you still got a Boston Scott, you got a Jason Huntley, you still got a Adrian Killens, dude like lightning fast, and then you got the Jones up top. You got Jordan Howard fighting for that number 2 spot, Kerryon Johnson, Gainwell fighting for that spot. So it's like I feel like that's one of the toughest battles in camp. But I'm gonna have to go with if we only was taking 3 into it, I had to go I'm gonna have to go Miles Sanders, Gainwell. I'm gonna have to go Kerryon Johnson, just like you. But honestly, I want Jordan Howard to earn a spot on this team because I feel like in that Doug Peterson era, I feel like we did Jordan Howard kind of wrong. It's like we didn't feed him enough, and once he got hurt, I felt like they didn't want to pay him his bonus, so they basically made him sit out the rest of the season. So I feel like they did Jordan Howard wrong, and that was like basically the beginning of the slide of Jordan Howard. So how you feel about that?
Yeah, I think we definitely disrespected Howard just because of how he handled that situation. And there was reports coming out before we even picked him up that he was thinking of retiring. So honestly, I think that this is the right team to give him a last chance, whether that be a last hurrah or heartbreak. I still think it was the right thing to do.
All right. Rock the Artist, what's up, bro? I mean, if you ain't doing that, Rock the Artist, join up. Me and my guy Jordy in here, we getting this little sports talk in. The link in the comments, man. Join up if you ain't doing nothing. But yeah, bro, I agree, man. Like, it's like, running backs, especially the style of running back Jordan Howard is, they take a pounding over a season, man, because they're inside runners. They getting hit every play constantly. So it's like, I don't blame you for contemplating retirement. It's like, you want to be able to play with your kids. You want to be able to get up and play with your kids every morning. Some dudes, I mean, the old school dudes, they in wheelchairs and stuff like that. Ride them in wheelchairs, crutches, just because of the hits they've been taking all their life. So, I mean, if you could secure your bag, you can get as much money out as you can out of this NFL thing, and you feel like you satisfied with retiring. Go ahead, more power to you, man. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree, and definitely Howard's got to think of himself as well, and the same goes for a lot of the team, especially the older guys.
I agree, bro. All right, man. Since it's just me and you in here rocking today, I want to go. I want to go game by game on this Eagles schedule, man, because I want to see how many wins you see us coming out with, and how many. I mean, losses. So me and you going to go game by game. If anybody else join up, they can add on to it. But I mean, we're gonna start off with Atlanta. Why do you feel like the Eagles lose or win this Atlanta game?
I think they win, and that's because you think Atlanta just traded Julio. Matt Ryan's not. I don't think he's past. I think he's past his prime. He's not. I don't think he's delivering like he used to. I still think he's a very good quarterback, but he's not what he used to be. And you combine that with him only really having Kelvin Ridley and maybe one or two other guys on offense.
Kyle Pitts, yep.
Kyle Pitts, we don't necessarily know what role he's going to play either. Yeah,
right.
I really think this defense is primed for a good season, especially with the drive some of these guys have, like a Josh Sweat, and like most of this defensive line. That it's going to come down to what can our defense do against their offense, and I think we'll come out with a win.
I think the Eagles win too. I think that, but honestly, I think that week one game gonna be a shootout, man. It's gonna be a shootout because it's the first week of football. The Falcons don't got a great defense. I mean, we don't know how our defense gonna look. So I feel like this gonna be a game where it's gonna be a high scoring game, in the 30s. I don't know about both teams, but somebody gonna drop in the 30s. But I feel like we win this game based off our defense making a stop in the fourth quarter, because it's kind of hard because you don't like you said, you don't really know the role of a Kyle Pitts in a week one or something like that. But Matt Ryan, even with Matt Ryan being old, he still could throw that rock. He still could throw that pill. So I feel like week one gonna be a shootout. Philadelphia Eagles win 32-28. All right, moving on. Week two, San Francisco 49ers. Do you feel like the Eagles win or lose this game, and why?
I think Philly loses, and I think this could definitely be a close game, but the Niners are going to rebound this year. They're getting all their starters back. They're not going to get everybody hurt in 1 week against the Giants. And, I mean, that's still a very good offense. They do not know who their quarterback's going to be, really, but that gives them a certain amount of unpredictability, especially if they start Trey Lance week one. And I don't necessarily know if Philly's offense will keep up with that. I think it'll definitely come down to the coaches scheming and kind of how they tweak and everything, because the first couple weeks is going to probably be rough for the coaches. You're going to see a lot of tweaking, a lot of different looks. So I think it'll just come down to San Fran's got a slightly better team, and they've got more experience coaching as of right now.
I feel like we win this game because I mean, I know it's a different like defensive coordinator and stuff like that. But the Philadelphia Eagles always kind of did good against Shanahan. That's Shanahan, right? They coach Shanahan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they always did good. They always kind of did good against Shanahan's like zone stretch defense. I mean offense and stuff like that. And I feel like the 49ers do got a lot of dudes coming back, but I feel like that quarterback controversy is gonna hurt them the first couple games. Because everybody's gonna be wanting to see how Trey Lance can do. But I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is gonna be their starter for at least the first 7 games. And you know how that goes. Jimmy G mess up one time, put Trey Lance in. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of controversy surrounding San Francisco. So I feel like we win that game. I feel like it's gonna be a close one, like you said. But I feel like we eat that one out. We start 2-0. All right, Monday night, we got the Cowboys, man. How you feel about this game? Who wins? Did the Philadelphia Eagles win or lose this game, and why?
Honestly, I think we lose this one too because it's in Jerry World. Philly's not always the best in Jerry World. And not only that, Dak, yes, he's coming off an ankle injury. Yes, he's going to be a lot more conservative. And yes, this is a rivalry game, so it's going to come down to the wire, like all the rivalry games usually do. But as of right now, I think that's going to be another shootout. And it'll really depend on Dak and Zeke, and I think they show up.
Yeah, Monday night game at Jerry World. To be honest, we always we like the Eagles and the Cowboys rivalry is weird because we always spank the Cowboys or like beat them in Dallas and we lose in Philly. So it's like I'm kind of up and down about this game, bro. It's like I see him taking the L. I can easily see him taking the L in this one too, man. Because like you said, Dak and Zeke. I mean, Zeke kill us every time we play him. Except for like that, I think the first game last year. But other than that, he always over 100 yards on us. 2 to 3 touchdowns is like I can see us taking the L. I mean, you got us starting 1-2. I got us starting 2-1. All right, that's good. Kansas City, Week 4, 1 p.m. game, man. How you feel about that one?
I think that's another L. This
Damn,
offense,
you got to start 1-3, bro.
it's when it comes to Kansas City, you've got to show up with some firepower. And I don't know if Philly's got enough. You'd have to contain Mahomes, which is very difficult to do, even if you run a 3-4. And I think this Philly offense would probably roll into that running 4-2-5, like it's kind of expected for Gannon to run as of right now, unless we see some changes to the variation of the scheme and everything. But I think we'd roll into it with a 4-2-5, and that's not going to be the most effective for stopping someone like Mahomes, especially if you're going to have to drop a linebacker into coverage most of the time because you got to cover Travis Kelce. And I don't think the defense is. I think we have barely enough at corner, but I don't think the defense as a whole is built well enough to compete against that offense. And I don't think we can outscore them. So I think it comes down to that, and we take the loss.
Is it a bad loss or a close loss?
I don't think it's going to be either. I think it's going to be somewhat competitive through the first half, but then the second half, Kansas City just hits that next gear.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you, bro. I don't know if I got us taking this L, but I feel like it's going to be kind of hard for us to stop Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a dogfight. I mean, I feel like if our D-line can move Patrick Mahomes off his spot, like get to him early, or I mean, we could at least contain him to where the point he's not moving around too much or he's not too mobile. I feel like we can win this game. It's like Patrick Mahomes, he's good when there's a lot of like off schedule plays. You get me? Like
Yeah,
a lot of
he's great when the play breaks down.
Right, yeah, he's great when the play breaks down. So it's like if we can keep him in the pocket, I mean, he's good in the pocket too, but I feel like he's more dangerous when he's on a rollout or he's like, I mean, he's more dangerous when he's on the edge, like how Carson Wentz used to be. So, I mean, if we can contain this dude, I feel like we can ink this game out. So I got us winning. I actually got us winning this Kansas City game. I got us winning this Kansas City game. I mean, I know it's hard to believe, but I got us winning this jump. All right, we're gonna move on. Our next game would be Carolina. How you feel about that Carolina game? That's a 1 p.m. game.
I think we win it. We don't know what Christian McCaffrey is going to be off the injury. He hasn't been at his best since Cam left. And they just traded for Sam Darnold this offseason. That kind of tells some of what you already needed to know. I think this defense is going to have a field day as long as they can shut down DJ Moore and McCaffrey is not a huge threat, that they'll have a field day all day. And then it just comes down to scoring some points. And with Sirianni coaching, I think this, and where we'd be at this point in the season, I think this offense could all well and do that. So I have us taking a win.
All right. I agree with you, but I mean, Carolina is more explosive than we think. Like, they still have it, Robbie Anderson. They still got DJ Moore over there. Who knows how Christian McCaffrey going? I mean, recover once he comes back. That's week 5. I got him being back before week 5. So, and Sam Darnold, I feel like Sam Darnold gets a bad rap because of the team he was on. The Jets been trash. The Jets was trash. They put nothing around them. I still feel like Sam Darnold is a good quarterback. I feel like this is gonna be a dogfight because they still got a solid defense. You know, Carolina was real scrappy last year. They didn't win a lot of games, but they didn't lose bad in a lot of games either. They fought real hard. So, I mean, I got us winning this game too, but I don't feel like it's gonna be an easy one. I feel like it's gonna be a dogfight all the way up until the end. So yeah, I got us winning this one. So Jordy, what that put you at? You got us at 1 and 2. I mean, we got us at 2 and
3.
2 and 3 right now. I got us at what, 1 and 4? I mean 4 and 1. I got us at 4 and 1. So all right, that's cool. All right, Tampa Bay. That's gonna be a Thursday night game coming off the Carolina game. I mean, we're gonna be at home, but it's still Tampa Bay, Tom Brady. I mean, how you feel about that game?
I think we lose. And you look at Tampa last year. I don't think they were all there at the beginning. I think that's part of the reason they lost so much early. But they clicked once, week 10, week 11 hit, and they started rolling on all cylinders. And They didn't look back. That defense, coached by Todd Bowles, that 3-4, did a great job at stopping Pat Mahomes. If they can do that, even though Mahomes did have the turf toe and he was missing the right side of his line, I still think that's a very good defense. They got most of their starters, if not all of their starters, back on that defense. And I don't know. I want to see what this Eagles offense can do and how much they can produce before I can say we can beat Tampa. And not only that, like you said, it's Tom Brady.
See, for me, man, it's like every year, Tom Brady and them, they lose a game that they're not supposed to lose. Like last year, them losing to Chicago. So why can't it be us? We'll be that team that they weren't supposed to lose to. I feel like it's gonna be different for Tampa Bay this year because people giving them a lot of expectations this year. I mean, I know they had Brady last year, but nobody expected them to go to a Super Bowl and actually win it. So, I mean, Brady a Wally veteran, man. I respect him all to death. And I feel like we lose this game, but I feel like we turn a lot of heads with this game. Like we actually put it to Tom Brady and them. Like we take them to the brink of losing that game. But I got us losing too. But I feel like this team we got this year gonna be real scrappy, bro. I feel like we're gonna be scrappy. Like we're not just gonna let anything just happen. So I feel like we lose this game too, but we show the NFL what we about. This game right here with going up against Tom Brady and them. So yeah, I agree with you. All right, next we got the Los Angeles Raiders. It's a 4 p.m. game. How you feel about that game?
Honestly, I think that's going to be another dogfight. I think it comes down to a final touchdown, and I think it can go either way, but I think we take a loss. Just because, yes, they're rebuilding their offensive and defensive line, but I think we underestimate how good their defensive line is and how unpredictable their offensive line can be. And not only that, their secondary did get
Right.
better over the offseason. So I think they're a team that could explode out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, every once in a while, Philly loses a game they shouldn't, and I think this could be one of those games.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. This a hard one to call. I never liked them 4 p.m. games, man. It's like either I like playing at 1 or at night. So I never liked them 4 p.m. games. They be like, and then we got to travel to Las Vegas. So it's like I agree with you. I feel like we lose this game. I don't know why. I just feel like we lose this game. It's like we come off a great showing against Tampa Bay. I mean, win or loss, and then the Raiders they just die once the Raiders come. Like it's just like we go to we go to their home and then we just die. Like it's just them 4 p.m. games. They just don't run me right. All right, our next game is Detroit. That's a 1 p.m. game at their home. Detroit gonna be home. How you feel about that game?
I think we win. They're not a good team. They haven't been able to build too much in years since Stafford really started there. And they don't have very much. They really don't. What they do have in terms of weapons, Philly can easily shut down because they got Swift, they've got a receiver or two, and that's about it on their offense. And they have Hawkinson, but Hawkinson's not. He's not a Darren Waller, but he's also not that bad. But
I like
again,
Hawkinson. I like Hawkinson. He
yeah,
a solid tight end.
but he's not someone I'd necessarily put in my top 5, top 7. So I think
No,
he's
no.
somebody who can be shut down by a combination of Wilson and Singleton because they're both very good at covering tight ends.
Right.
And this Lions defense, it may be halfway decent, but I think Philly's got more than enough to put some points up on them, especially with how unpredictable our offense is.
Yeah, I got us winning this game too, man. I got us actually like winning by a couple, like probably 2 or 3 touchdowns in this game. Just based off the fact that it's the same with Detroit. I mean, they got a young team. Um, Jared Goff, this is gonna be his first year there. I feel like Detroit probably start off like 1-5 or something like that. But you got to be aware of these kind of teams too, because these are the kind of teams like past years the Eagles took their foot off the gas against, and we ended up in a dogfight with the Detroit Lions or like a Carolina Panthers that year we lost to them the year after the Super Bowl when we was up about 3 touchdowns. So you can't like really underestimate an opponent, but I feel like we win this game. I feel like we beat Detroit like with ease. Our next game is another 4 p.m. game. I hate these 4 p.m. games. The Los Angeles Chargers. How you feel about that game, bro?
I think that's going to be another dogfight, but we lose because Herbert, he's unpredictable. He's coming into his second year. He's got a lot more experience under his belt. and he's rolling on an offense with guys like Keenan Allen, and I think that's a very well built offense, and
Mm-hmm.
you've also got a good running, or you've got good running backs there in Eckler and his entourage behind him, and
Mm-hmm.
I ultimately think it'll be another offensive shootout, but I don't know if Philly has enough in the tank for that, especially coming off a game against the Lions, because, like I said, there's always one game that we lose that we shouldn't.
Exactly. I feel you, bro. I feel the same way, but I don't feel like we lose to the Chargers. I feel like it's gonna be a dogfight, like you said, but I don't feel like we're gonna lose to them. I feel like I like Justin Herbert, but they had the same team last year. They really didn't switch up too much, like change up too much. They didn't really add too many offensive weapons. So Herbert put on a show last year, but they still lost a ton of games. So I mean, I feel like we can win this one. We can ink this one out, man. To be honest. All right, we got a 4 o'clock game against Denver. We're traveling to Denver. How you feel about that one?
That one worries me because I think Denver's another team that can be sneakily good on offense and even a little bit on defense. And
Mm-hmm.
they're a team, they've got some good receivers. They've got KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy. Tim Patrick had some good games last year. He's very underrated. I like him as a receiver. Locke's not the best quarterback, but don't they have Bridgewater behind him?
Uh huh.
That's he hasn't been the same since Minnesota and that hit he took on the slide that knocked him out for the season. But
Uh
he's
huh.
still a good quarterback. He's still a starting level quarterback, and ultimately, I don't know with this game. I think it's very close, and either team could take it.
And also, you got to factor in Cortland Sutton. He missed a lot of games last year, but he still, when healthy, he's like a top 10, top 15 wide receiver in this league. So they definitely got a lot of firepower on offense. But I feel like we win this Denver game too. I feel like we win the Denver game based off it's going to be. I feel like Nick Sirianni is going to bring out good game plans. Like some games he know when to open up the offense. Some games he know when to take the air out the football. I feel like that it's going to be one of them kind of offenses. Him, Steiches. I feel like he's going to have the game plan. They're going to game plan well. They're going to be well prepared for every game we play this year. So I feel like we can ink out a win against that team. So I mean, I got us winning that one. I don't know. All right, the New Orleans Saints 1 p.m. game at Lincoln Financial Field. How you feel about that one?
I think we win. I mean, most of their season's hinging on can Michael Thomas come back from the multiple surgeries and all that and be his old self. And you've
Right.
also got a quarterback controversy because Jameis Winston apparently laser eye surgery fixes quarterback problems when it really doesn't. And Taysom Hill's a gadget guy. He's not a quarterback.
Right.
And if they had to, they're gonna fall off, or they're gonna fall back on Ian Book, and that's a mistake because the offense isn't built for Ian Book. So no matter what they do, they're relying too much on a quarterback position that you don't know who's going to play that week, and you're relying on can Michael Thomas come back healthy and be his old self. And I think Philly takes that one home, especially because it's at home.
I agree. I agree, bro. I feel like we win that game. I feel like we win that game by at least a touchdown or two, man. I don't believe in Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill. So, I mean, I feel like we win that game. All right, next we got the New York Giants. This is a 1 p.m. game at MetLife. That's how we finally get into another divisional game. I mean, this late in the season, week 12. So, how you feel about that game?
Like I said earlier, all our divisional games are dogfights, but I think we win it because MetLife's like our second home, and
We
we
travel well, bro. We definitely
we
travel well.
yeah, we've done very well there. We've got a good history there, and honestly, I think this team's no different. I think Nick Sirianni's really going to be. He's going to know what really works with his scheming. Same for Gannon, and I think they'll really be in a good mindset. They'll be in a good spot, record wise and everything, and they're going to walk in with a mentality that you haven't seen in a while.
I agree, bro. I feel the same way. I feel like New York is getting too much hype right now. It's like with them bringing in a Kenny Galladay, John Ross, dudes like that on offenses. It's like, bro, it's still you still got Daniel Jones throwing the ball. I really don't believe in Daniel Jones at all. Like I got zero. It's not up to me. I'm not a Giants fan, but I have zero confidence in dude. Like he he'll give you a good game here and there, but he also be on some big time trash stuff when it's like the game on the line. I just seen Daniel Jones. They be driving to score a touchdown, and Daniel Jones will come in. He'll get strip fumbled or he'll throw a pick in like a crucial moment. So I never really believed in the Daniel Jones. So I feel I got the Eagles winning that game. All right, next game is the Jets. It's a 1 o'clock game. Is at MetLife again. We play at MetLife Stadium once again. So we in MetLife 2 weeks straight. How you feel about that game?
I think we win. That should be an easy game to win, but it's a trap game. We can't overlook it and go, hey, look, our bye weeks are right there. We can't do it. And with a first year head coach, that's something I really worry about, especially this year. And I'm hoping we don't overlook them because, I mean, yes, this is the Jets, but we still don't know what Zach Wilson can do, even though I think he was a one-hit wonder at a BYU.
Yeah, I believe Zach Wilson was a one-hit wonder too. And then the competition he was going up against, it was nothing like he's going to go up against in the NFL. So all that running around, like you can see dudes get away with it, but Zach Wilson did that on a daily basis, like running around, trying to make off-schedule throws and stuff like that. It don't work like that in the NFL. You actually got to be a quarterback in the NFL. You actually got to throw from the pocket. So I feel like it's going to be Zach Wilson rookie year. He's going to take his lumps this year. I do feel like he's going to be a good quarterback though. I don't feel like I don't necessarily believe Zach Wilson is going to be a bad quarterback. I feel like this year he's going to have to take his lumps like any other rookie. So I got us winning that game also, that Jets game. All right, so we got Washington. It says to be determined. The time. So I mean, we're gonna be at the link though. We know that. How you feel about that Washington game at our bye week, week 15?
Yeah, I'm very confident about that. It's in LFF. It's off a bye week, and I think that's going to be probably the best chance we have of winning a divisional game, just because of we're going to be rested. It's in the link, and not only that, this offense should click by then, or at least the essential parts. And same thing with the defense, and you're going to know kind of what you got in some of the receivers and the running backs, and you kind of work out the kinks by then. So I think this team should be rolling by then, and we take a W.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. I feel like Washington is another team that's getting overhyped too, man. Like, first of all, y'all don't have a quarterback. Y'all do. Like, I like Fitzpatrick, but Fitzpatrick be hot for about 4 or 5 games. And then you see Fitzpatrick at his lowest. Dude is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. So it depends on what Fitzpatrick we get. Because Fitzpatrick then killed us twice. Once in Tampa Bay, once with Miami. I mean, it's a different defensive scheme. Maybe he just know how to play a Jim Schwartz defensive scheme because Jim Schwartz played a lot of one-on-one. So, and our corners wasn't the biggest in the world. So all they did was throw the football up. They beat us just by playing backyard football. So I agree with you. I feel like we win this football game, man. I feel like we win this one. All right, so we got New York week 16, 1 p.m. at Lincoln Financial. How you feel about that one, bro?
I feel good about that game because that's the only back-to-back we have at home, and I think the team's it's really gonna go over well with them because you get to sit in the same city for 2 weeks straight, and it helps with practice and everything and convenience. And not only that, this is a New York Giants team that if we beat them earlier in the season, I think this will definitely also debate playoffs. And I don't know if the Giants will be in it by then. I don't think they will, but it's possible. But I think Philly's really going to be trying to get a wild card at this point, or maybe even the division because of how bad everyone was last year. and how competitive it was. So at this point, I think we're fighting for a playoff spot, and we are able to sneak out a win at home.
I agree with you, bro. I feel like the only team we sweep in this division is the Giants. I mean, I don't know. I can't even explain to you why. It's just maybe based off the recent history of the Philadelphia Eagles and the Giants. You know, we've been cooking them since 2010. I think they only beat us like 3 times since like 2010. So I'm just going off the recent history of the Philadelphia Eagles, even through the Chip Kelly era. We really was dominating the Giants. So I can't. I gotta see the Giants actually balling for me to really believe in them. So, I mean, I agree with you. We win that game. We got Washington Sunday night at FedEx. I mean, 1 o'clock game at FedEx. How you feel about that Week 17 matchup with us and the football team?
I think we'll lose because you're going into Washington. I think they could be out for vengeance, and like you said earlier, you don't know what Fitzpatrick you're going to get, and I think there's even more of a case for potentially a good Fitzpatrick at home in Washington, and I really think he's going to want to put up a fight, especially if they're in playoff contention too. So
Right.
I think this will be a dogfight to the end, but we take a loss. This is the only divisional rival I have us going 1-1 with.
I agree with you, bro. I feel like we lose this game too, but I feel like by the time we get to this point right here, I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles will have the division locked up. That's just my personal opinion, man. I feel like we have not locked up, but maybe going into that week 18 week, us losing this game right here won't really hurt us too much, like drastically. So I feel like we lose this game too. I don't feel like we're gonna sweep the football team. So I agree with you. All right, now I feel like this one right here is gonna be big time playoff implications. I mean, because I feel like we gonna be one, Dallas, or we gonna be 1 or 2. Dallas gonna be 1 or 2. I feel like the football team gonna be third, and the Giants gonna be last. So, how do you feel about this Week 18 matchup against Dallas at Lincoln Financial Field?
I think we can win. I think, especially if we take a loss to Washington the week before and it has big playoff implications, this team's going to come in with a drive and a hunger that, I mean, this team's got a lot of drive already, but I think it could hit another level, and this team's
Right.
going to show up to its fullest potential. And I think maybe even Sirianni or Gannon could have 1 or 2 things up their sleeve for a game like this. And especially since there's a lot of young minds in that coaching staff, I think there's a lot of unpredictability. And you can bring a lot of different stuff to the table in a Week 18 game. And ultimately, I have us going home with a close win.
I agree, bro. I think we win this, especially at home. Hopefully, everybody stays as healthy as they can. They're going to be. I mean, from a 18-week season. Hopefully, everybody stays as healthy as they're going to be. But I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles make the playoffs. I feel like we beat Dallas in this Week 18 game. So, being as though we just went through this, what is your lineup for the division? Like from 1 to 4.
I have it us at 1, Dallas at 2, Washington 3, and New York 4.
All right, I got us at 1, same as you. Yep, I got the same lineup as you, bro. I feel like the Giants gonna finish last in the division. So I mean, that was a nice little session right there, bro. I appreciate you, man. We done went. I mean, we are an hour and 20 minutes in, and I just want. I'm about to get up out of here, but I want to ask you a question. How would you feel about me and you doing like a weekly podcast together, like me and you, just a weekly live together? I mean, because I really would appreciate that. I'm open for it. I just want to know how you feel about that.
Hey, man, I'm down to do it. I'm always down to do a show or a podcast or even something like this where we could do it weekly. I'm always down to do it. And if you want to, then let's do it.
I bet I'm with it. We got to figure out a name for it though. I mean, me and you gonna be doing it because this is live for the cave right here. This is my show. You probably got your show, but we gotta get it. I thought, bro, I don't know what just happened. But yeah, we gotta get a little. We gonna figure out. We gonna work out all the details and all that, man. But I would love to get a little podcast going on with you, or a little live. We do a little live every week. It could be a question and answer, Q&A type joint, or anything. We just rapping like we doing right here, man. But yo, I appreciate you joining up on this live, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. It's been a good session. It's your boy One Tree Rock. I'm gonna let Jordy let y'all know where y'all can find him at, and we gonna get up out of here. Go ahead, Jordy.
So obviously you can find me at Jordy Fighter on YouTube. I got my 3 podcasts there. Actually dropping tomorrow, so go check that out. And honestly, thank you for having me on. It's been great. It's always fun just to jump in a session talk. So thank you for having me on.
I appreciate you, bro. But we gonna get on up out of here, man. I know people got stuff to do right now. You wanna go watch some anime, probably get your little drink on, whatever y'all wanna do, man. We gonna get up out of here. It's your boy One Tree Rock. We here with my guy Jordy Fighter, and we out of here.
Peace.